The Adventure of Silver Blaze. A Sherlock Holmes story retold for English learners. Chapter 1. The Missing Horse. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson sat in a train. They were traveling to Dartmoor, a wild and empty area in the south of England. "Watson," Holmes said, looking out the window, "a strange crime has happened. The famous racehorse, Silver Blaze, has disappeared, and his trainer, John Straker, is dead." "Who did it?" Watson asked. "The police believe they know," Holmes replied. "They arrested a man named Fitzroy Simpson. He is a bookmaker, a person who takes bets on horse races. But I think the truth is more complicated." Holmes explained the facts of the case. Silver Blaze was the favorite to win the upcoming Wessex Cup race. The horse lived at King's Pyland, a quiet training stable. On Tuesday night, a stranger came to the stables. It was Fitzroy Simpson. He tried to ask the stable boy, Ned Hunter, questions about the horse. He even offered Ned money for information. Ned refused and chased him away with a dog. That night, Ned Hunter ate his supper and soon fell into a deep sleep. Later, it was discovered that the food contained a powerful drug. John Straker, the trainer, then went out into the dark to check on the horse. He never returned. In the morning, the stable door was open, and Silver Blaze was gone. Later that day, searchers found Straker's body on the moor. His head had been crushed by a powerful blow. In his hand, he held a small, sharp knife. Chapter 2. Clues on the Ground. When Holmes and Watson arrived at King's Pyland, Inspector Gregory of the police welcomed them. He showed them the items found in the dead trainer's pockets. There was a scarf, a box of matches, and a bill for an expensive dress. The dress was for a William Derbyshire, but the address was Straker's house. "This is interesting," Holmes murmured. John Straker was using another name to buy expensive clothes for a lady. He needed a lot of money. Next, Holmes went to look at the ground where Straker died. The ground was muddy because it had rained on Tuesday night. Holmes walked slowly, looking down at the grass. "Look here," Holmes said to the inspector. "Do you see these tracks? These are horse tracks, and here are the footprints of John Straker. But look at this shoe print next to his. It matches the shoes of Fitzroy Simpson." "Ah," said Inspector Gregory. "So Simpson is the murderer." "Perhaps," Holmes said. He looked into the grass and picked up something small. It was a half-burned match. "Why did he light a match?" Watson asked. "The moon was bright that night." "Exactly," Holmes said. "He needed more light. Whoever struck that match wanted to see something clearly in the darkness." Holmes continued searching. "And there is one more thing, Inspector. Was anything strange reported about the other animals in the stable?" "No," the inspector replied. "Only that 3 of our sheep went lame this week. They started limping for no reason." Holmes smiled. "Excellent. That is a very important clue." Chapter 3. The dog. In the night before leaving the stables, Inspector Gregory turned to Holmes and asked if there was any other clue he had noticed. Holmes gave one of his most famous replies. "Is there any other point to which you wish to draw my attention?" Gregory asked. "To the curious incident of the dog in the night-time," Holmes replied. "The dog did nothing in the night-time," said the inspector, looking confused. "That was the curious incident," Holmes remarked quietly. Later, Holmes and Watson walked across the moor to another stable called Mapleton. It belonged to Silas Brown, a rival trainer. Holmes looked at the mud outside Mapleton and saw fresh horse tracks. He knocked on the door and spoke with Silas Brown privately for 10 minutes. When Holmes came out, he was smiling, but Silas Brown looked terrified. "Where is the horse, Holmes?" Watson asked as they walked away. "He is safe," Holmes said. "He will run in the Wessex Cup on Thursday. Do not ask me any more questions, Watson. All will be clear soon." Chapter 4. The Wessex Cup. On Thursday, a large crowd gathered for the big race. The owner of Silver Blaze, Colonel Ross, looked miserable. He did not know where his horse was. As the horses lined up for the race, Colonel Ross looked through his binoculars. "Wait," he cried. "That is not my horse. That horse has a black forehead, not a silver-white stripe." "Watch the race, Colonel," Holmes said calmly. The race started. The dark horse ran beautifully, overtook the others, and won easily. When the horse returned to the gate, Holmes took a wet sponge and wiped the horse's forehead. The black color disappeared, revealing a bright white stripe. "Silver Blaze," the colonel gasped. "But where did you find him? And who killed John Straker?" Chapter 5. The True Story. On the train back to London, Holmes explained the mystery to Watson and Colonel Ross. "The police arrested the wrong man," Holmes began. "Fitzroy Simpson was there to get information, but he did not steal the horse. The true criminal was John Straker himself." Colonel Ross was shocked. "My own trainer? Why?" "Straker lived a double life," Holmes explained. "He had an expensive mistress in London. He owed a lot of money. He decided to make a large bet against Silver Blaze. If Silver Blaze lost the race, Straker would win a fortune." "But how could he make his own horse lose?" Watson asked. "He planned to make a small cut on the horse's leg using that tiny, sharp knife," Holmes said. "The injury would be difficult to detect, but it would make the horse limp and lose the race. To practice this delicate operation, he experimented on the sheep. That is why 3 sheep went lame." "But why did he take the horse onto the moor?" Watson asked. "Because he did not want anyone to see what he was doing," Holmes replied. "If the horse became frightened or struggled, nobody at the stable would hear or witness it. Out on the lonely moor, he believed he could carry out his plan in secret." "And the dog?" asked the colonel. "Ah, the stable dog did not bark at midnight, because the person opening the stable door was his master, John Straker. A dog only barks at strangers." Holmes continued the story. Straker had already arranged for the stable boy to be drugged, so that nobody would guard the horse that night. Then he led Silver Blaze onto the moor. He struck a match so that he could see the horse's leg clearly before making the cut. "What happened next?" asked Watson. "Silver Blaze became frightened by the sudden light and the knife," Holmes replied. "Horses are powerful animals. He kicked out with his hind legs and struck Straker directly in the head. Straker died instantly, and the frightened horse ran away across the moor." "And how did he get to Mapleton Stable?" Watson asked. "Silas Brown found the wandering horse," Holmes said. "He recognized the famous champion immediately. He hid the horse in his own stable and dyed his forehead black so nobody would know. I found the horse tracks, threatened him with prison, and he agreed to keep the horse safe until the race." Colonel Ross smiled and shook Holmes's hand. "You have saved my horse, my money, and my honor, Mr. Holmes. It is a wonderful piece of work." The end.